Hello, welcome back to the Red Bull X-Alps at Hangar 7 in Austria. We're here with Kinga.
Hello, Ed.
Hello, how are you? How are you doing?
Yeah, great. I'm super excited to be here.
Now, you were just up there on the podium, talking. How was that experience?
Great. I mean, the atmosphere is totally electric. So yeah, even sitting here with all these great athletes who are like legends live. It's great already, and we haven't even started.
Now, tell us a little bit about your background, because you're from Poland, but you fly for New Zealand. Is that right?
Yeah, I grew up in Poland, and a few years ago I moved to New Zealand, first for love. I met a boy simply, but then I found a home there, and friends and home, and the community embraced me so easily, and I just love being there, and this is my home. And also because I've never in my life even flown a paraglider in Poland, for me it was natural to represent New Zealand. And I hope it can boost a little bit our paragliding scene in New Zealand.
Now, you've done some pretty big adventure flying in New Zealand. Tell us about that.
Oh, last year I went for a solo vol bivouac to the South Island, and it was quite a mental journey because it was the first big trip that I did solo in the mountains. And it's interesting how being alone changes the energy and decision-making process. So for me it was a very, very new experience, and very, very emotional, involving, but also the reward at the end was way greater than I ever imagined. I went through ups and downs, like really deep downs and very high ups, and also I had some beautiful flying during this trip, and basically doubled my previous New Zealand distance record, which was very, very special to do it during this solo trip after all this, again, doubts and even a bit of crying involved on the way.
They always say that flying and paragliding is a mental game, and of course this is a big mental game. Kriegel has played a big mental game with his giant triangle and winning the prologue, sort of putting a stamp on it. How have you prepared for that mental game? What's ahead of us?
Kriegel is master of not only of flying, logistics. He is a full pro to an extent that it's like, for now it's still hard to touch by others, but we'll see in next days. As you said, we can. Everybody, it's nice that you're asking this question, because everybody always asks, "Oh, are you feeling strong physically?" And to be ready physically, it's relatively easy, because it's tough to train so hard to actually feel ready, but it's relatively easy because you know that once it's in your body, it's there, and I feel strong and ready physically. But then after a couple of days, it's not physical anymore, because your body is so tired that most of us just go on empty tank after a few days, and then it's all in your head, and this mental strength and keeping focus and keeping positive. This is something that you try to prepare with positive attitude, that I believe personally that positive attitude is a skill as well that we can train, which is not that we are just born with it or without it. I believe that we can train every day, focusing on positive little things and just shaking off negative stuff. So we can train visualization and just imagining how it will feel, how it will be. But actually, there's no other way of really seeing and trying than just going there and doing it. So we'll all see. During the last weeks, I've been through completely freaking out, and it's like, what have I put myself into? I'm completely crazy to even think about it. All the way to, no, it's chilled, it's all good, it's just a fun race. Obviously, it's not just a fun race, because if you treat it like this and if you approach it on 99%, the pace is so fast that you will get eliminated like this. So you have to find the right balance, and I think the balance is the clue to find the right balance between keeping the stress under control and at the same time pushing it on 110%. And this is the very, very complicated strategy for the race.
It sounds good. Now, have you got inside your head, a goal for the race? Obviously, Monaco is the big goal, but have you got a sort of secondary goal where this is success in the X-Alps for you?
There's plenty of goals that are just kind of objective goals that people say, oh, you have to close the circuit. There are years when it's relatively easy, relatively again, and there are years where it's almost impossible. So this is a very difficult goal to treat as like success or failure. But for me, it's very personal, and in this way that this race, not only racing with this like great safety network and logistics of Red Bull X-Alps organization, but also having all these amazing athletes around making different decisions. This is a beautiful medium to really push your limits farther than you could ever do it yourself. I mean, I'm really interested about where my limits are, and the solo trip that you mentioned was for me this type of adventure that really put me outside of my comfort zone in this area. This is very different. You are never alone here. Basically, you have support, you have other athletes, you have organization, but this all can allow to push your physical and also mental limits in flying way farther than you would ever do it normally. And this is very exciting for me. And if the Red Bull X-Alps finishes for me, if I still have anything left in my tank, if I'm still walking normally, it means that I did it completely wrong. It doesn't count. So I really, for my real goal, it's really push it farther than I've ever pushed it before, and we'll see where it will take me.
Brilliant. Well, best of luck. And can you tell us where we can follow you online?
Oh, of course, live tracking of Red Bull X-Alps website is the great place to follow during all the race. My Instagram, Kinga Masztalerz, and Facebook and social media, my channel on YouTube. If you put my name on the Google, it will all come out. And I love sharing, so stay tuned because I will share a lot during the race too.
Brilliant. Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you, Ed.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.